Okay, I'm here with Bill Harris. He is one of the founding members of Insuretech Connect, the daddy of all insurance conferences in the whole country for the whole year. Is that an accurate statement, Bill?
Yeah, we are the biggest InsureTech event, possibly one of the biggest insurance events. But yeah, we kind of it's kind of like the Super Bowl or like homecoming. A lot of folks have been like, it's really like homecoming. Like I come here and everyone's here. It's great.
Everybody's there. I know. I was talking to some of my. I did not make it last year, and actually we were talking about this before the recording. I've never been. This will be my first year coming to InsureTech Connect, so I'm excited to be there.
I'm excited
And
to have you.
yeah, and I was talking to, gosh, it was last year when you guys had it. I don't know how many text messages I got. You go to InsureTech? I'm going to be, because I've got these deals running and these things happening. And like, well, with people in different parts of the country, right? I'm in Phoenix. We've got some folks out in California. We've got folks in Florida. We've got folks all over the place. And I received a few text messages like, well, we'll just sit down at InsureTech Connect. I'm like, well, I'm not going to be there this year. Oh, because it was just assumed that I was. And from here, and so I think it's a fascinating story. So real quick, we're going to dive in about the conference, who's going to be there, what's going to be happening, who should go. But let's go back to, you said it was Panera Bread 2016.
Yeah. So the origin story is kind of an interesting one. Caribou Honig is a venture capitalist, had founded a firm, QED, with one of the heads of Capital One, brilliant guy. He was a fintech, very successful fintech venture capitalist, and he was dabbling into InsureTech. And he was like, hey, I'm starting to make some investments in InsureTech. And he approached our other partner, Jay Weintraub, who was a great events guy and had a bunch of events and had exited a couple of events. And he said to Jay, there's nothing like this. There's Money 2020 on the fintech side, but there's nothing like this in the InsureTech space. And it was literally like InsureTech was just being coined as a word. There were two different spellings for InsureTech. The Europeans were spelling it different than the Americans, what have you. So he had this great idea, like, let's build a conference. But his thing was, let's build a conference that I want to go to as an investor. And so we came up with InsureTech Connect, and it was focused on connecting. It's focused on one-to-one meetings, kind of almost like speed dating. We had those in the middle of our expo hall, and we've had 85,000 since the very beginning. But it was really focused on those connections and making connections and having, deal flow between investors and the InsureTech startups, the innovators, as well as the startups and the incumbents, the carriers, the reinsurers, brokers, the agents, and having, not only those connections, having great solutions in our expo hall, and having great content on our stage. So we've really built a kind of three-legged stool balance between the expo hall, the connections, and the networking that happens.
Sure.
And the stage, the content stage rather, that also happens, so people can get a lot of insights and information from just the brightest minds in insurance and InsureTech.
Sure. Well, and the nice thing is, so we were talking about before the broadcast here, my audience is primarily insurance agents. And so what this is, so while maybe in 2016 it really wouldn't have made much sense and maybe it would have, but from my perspective, maybe it didn't make as much sense for an insurance agent to go then, but now it's a no-brainer because you guys have created this environment where everybody's there. I mean, everybody's there. And so, no matter who you want to talk to, like for me, we wouldn't really be interested in investors. We'd be interested in carriers. We'd be interested in insurance technology solutions that are geared towards agents that bring the agency force into the modern day, right? Or into the future really is the goal. And everybody like that is there.
Yeah. We had, just this past October, which was our 6th edition of InsureTech Connect, we had 5,300 people. We're kind of right between Delta and Omicron, so it worked out really nice. We also launched another event that had a few thousand people as well. So it was a big, we had over 6,000 people total in our space. It was fantastic. We're anticipating close to probably about 7,500 or so for this year's event, which is September 20th to 22nd. We're usually at last week of September, kind of first week of October timeframe. Again, at homecoming type of time frame. But yeah, we're at Mandalay Bay again this year. It's a fantastic venue. There are a lot of things to do. Number one, it's Vegas, so it's a great place to be, right?
Right.
Fantastic city. Mandalay Bay is a beautiful facility. We have really a lot of space for, again, great content. We have an amazing exhibit hall, and just so much stuff to do, so many connections, so many events that happen within the event also. This is very cool. There are a lot of receptions and other things that are happening that people, have come to look towards. So, for agents and what have you, like one of our big partners is Tech Ventures. They have a great, they run a nice little piece of content that first day, which is Tuesday this year, September 20th. They're going to take a nice piece of content during that day. We have a track in our content track that's on distribution. So it's focused on, agents, like, we're talking about, hey, are agents obsolete in the insurance value chain, especially in Insuretech, where you can go, direct to consumer for so many things, for home insurance, auto insurance, what have you. Are agents obsolete? Our knowledge partner, McKinsey, put out a famous survey a few years ago, saying, hey, maybe agents aren't necessary. That hasn't been proved out. It's really the opposite has been proven more true, I think, than not. As insurance is such a complex sale. You just need a trusted advisor to help with all those decision points and what have you. We also talk about what are the role of aggregators. What are the technologies that are also coming to the fore? Again, Tech Ventures brought a few of their key partners, like Relatively Six, Fenris. We've had solutions providers like Vimo and Zywave, who are really looking to figure out how can we make agents, agency owners, brokerages, how do we make them more efficient? How do we improve the customer experience? How do we make them more secure from cyber perspective? So there are a lot of interesting solutions, a lot of interesting conversations that are happening that do indeed appeal to agents. Yeah, sure. More so now than ever.
Absolutely. Well, and I know that so in my opinion, the future of the insurance agent. I mean, as a former retail agent myself, the easiest deals I ever closed were people that I came into contact with or people that I knew that had, their insurance direct with any company, right? Because it's like, hey, who's handling your insurance for this? It's like, oh, I just got it online. And if you can get me something that makes sense, and the business is yours. And, the harder business to peel away is the relationship built business, obviously. So where it's like, it's my son's T-ball coach that's been handling my insurance for the last 15 years. That's rough. And unless there's really a reason that they are forced to leave, they're probably not going to. And, so I think that for agents, the biggest question is, because we don't want to be cumbersome to do business with, we want to make sure that, we're staying with the curve on what's happening industry wide. I think that's the biggest reason that I would encourage agents to go to Insuretech Connect 2022 is because you're going to meet the people that will, if your business is behind, that's okay. You've got time to catch up, but it's time. And so you will meet the people that will help you catch your business up to modern day. You will meet the people that will help you take your business into the future. And as somebody who has developed my own technologies for different platforms that we own, I can tell you a subscription is the absolute positively cheapest way to do it. It is expensive, it is slow, and it is cumbersome to try and develop anything on your own to help you lurch forward. So, the only way we've ever done that is if it just didn't, what we were doing something so custom that it didn't exist, but it's a pain. And so, a lot of the solutions I think you'll find in Insuretech Connect in Vegas this September will be things that you didn't even know existed. And you'll be like, how cool would this be for my customers? So walk me through. People probably fly in Monday, September 19th. They can go register if they're not already registered. Is that right? So if you're like me and you wait till the last minute to do pretty much everything, you can fly in, drive over to Mandalay Bay. It looks like 2 p.m. you open up for registration. The next day, you allow everybody to kind of recover from being in Vegas for the first night. Looks like 1:00 p.m. is the kickoff summit. What does that look like? What's the kickoff summit workshops?
Right. So on Tuesday, actually, we're going to start at 9:00, and we did that again last year.
Okay.
There are a few summits that start off, like we have a life insurance focused one. Both
Interesting.
Surefy and Equisoft will have things that are starting off at like 9:00 in the morning. So we have a full day, really. That first day is usually, previously it had that kickoff day be more like a half day of content, long format content in the afternoon, but there's been so much interest. We're making it a little bit longer. We're stretching that day out so you can start a little bit earlier on that Tuesday. But we'll have about 8 stages going, and it will be a variety of, again, we're dividing up a variety of tracks. We have a distribution track and what have you, but we're going to have 8 stages going on Monday. And, again, it's long format. There are receptions that happen. It's deeper dives. It's not just like panel discussion. So sometimes some of the hosts will do like more like user groups. Sometimes we'll bring in some experts from the outside. So there's a whole host of content. Our agenda is going to be posted on April 1st. But that first day is a little bit of a deeper dive in terms of content. The second day, we do our main stage, our plenary stage. Like last year, we had the CEO of Chubb, Evan Greenberg, one of our keynotes. Acrisure raised about $3 billion, big brokerage. Their leaders were on stage, what have you. Second day and third day, we have a variety of content panels. The expo hall opens up the second day and third day as well. The meetings are happening all 3 days. So from the very first day, we'll have an area for meetings, and then when the meeting zone opens in the expo hall, the second and third day, we move most of the meetings to that space so people can kind of enjoy the expo hall. There's all kinds of stuff happening in the expo hall. There's a demo stage. There's a beer garden. There's a coffee bar. There's so many things that are happening in that expo hall. It's really it's an amazing sight to see. We're going to have 2-story exhibit booths, just all kinds of different solutions from companies. Not only just your typical Insuretechs and startups that we have in our innovation alley over by the demo stage, the newest and greatest insurance technologies, but also some of the biggest technology players out there, from Salesforce and ServiceNow and IBM. We've had Facebook, Amazon, Google, Apple. We've had all kinds of key Microsoft, key tech players come to the event in the last few years as well. So there are a variety of solutions, and many of them, even like the new no-code, low-code ones, like Uncore, for example, are really focused on agency and broker solutions as well.
Yeah, absolutely. How many booths would you say? Do you know?
Yeah, we'll have it. We're still,
still booking, right?
No, it looks good. Last year we had about 200 exhibitors. This year we'll probably have about 250, maybe 275 exhibitors total. Again, some of them are, big spaces, like 60 by 40 spaces. Some are your normal, standard footprint, but we have a massive expo hall, a lot of space. We have all kinds of really cool exhibitors, and also interactive things. We've had things like we had a parametric insurance company, Jumpstart, had the Shake Shack, where they brought in like a demo to feel what it's like in an earthquake, to demonstrate that if there's an earthquake above X magnitude, there's an automatic payout from the claims perspective for parametrics. So we've done all kinds of cool stuff. We've had little drone flight things, simulators and what have you. So there are some interesting things that we're putting together for this year as well.
Yeah, no, it sounds like a lot of fun. The main stage sessions, Expo Hall, Expo Open, obviously that is what it is, right? So you can walk around all day, you can go sit through your sessions. So let's dive in a little bit. So Expo, we know you walk around, you see everybody that's there, 250, 260 people, and all you need is one, right? Like if you're an agency owner and you're going through, like one of these 260 businesses could definitely be an absolute game changer in how your agency is positioned for the future. So Expo Hall, that's fantastic. Main stage sessions, that's when you're having these big name speakers come in, and they're giving their keynote speeches, or however you want to phrase it, right?
Fireside chats or what have you. Oftentimes we have, interview type of thing.
Sure.
Fireside
And that's basically like knowledge, right, on what's happening in the industry, how things are evolving, how things are changing. So that way you can be, in the know on the upcoming curves, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and we bring to the main stage CEOs and founders of companies big and small who are making either announcements like we've had Credit Karma announcing that they're getting into insurance. Like I said, we had Evan Greenberg talking about the status as an incumbent with Chubb, how he feels about the Insuretech space.
Nervous? I'm just kidding.
Right, game changers in technology. Like Kara Swisher has a popular podcast. Is a big writer, has her own following of many different sorts. Sure. So we've had great names to the stage. We'll announce those coming up in a few months or so. But yeah, it's what we want to have at Insuretech Connect is newsmakers and breaking news, and also the opportunity to hear straight from the horse's mouth. Like from the leaders and thought leadership of the industry, like the people who are literally in the room where it happens, making the decisions, and really influencing what's happening in insurance at large, as well as Insuretech as a facet of the insurance space. So
absolutely. And Insuretech is here to stay. So I mean, that's I think you guys will be around a really long time, especially with this momentum you got behind you. So tell me about the meetings. Let's say that I come in and for some reason or another, I want to schedule meetings or be a part of the meetings. How does that process work? Is it just you walk up to the table and you go, oh my gosh, there's, Capital One, and I want to sit down and talk with them for, I don't know, whoever it is, right? But do you schedule those beforehand, or do they just kind of on the fly?
Yeah, no, it's all through the app. So we have an event app that we send out to all the delegates and attendees and speakers and what have you, and people go through and make introductions, make connections, and simply set up a meeting. And it's, again, with Insuretech Connect, right, the focus is on meetings. Like, people are there to meet. It's not one of some conferences you're trying to make meetings. People are like, I'm not sure I'm going to go, listen to the content. People really have been kind of conditioned, like, you come for meetings, and that's a big thing. And that's that's what makes a successful event for the participants in the event. The ones, when we get our survey results, it's always, folks that have the most meetings have the most
satisfaction,
impressive time at the event,
Absolutely.
So we really,
so it's important.
Automated. It's all automated. It's all through the app.
So somebody sends a meeting request and then I have to accept it.
Exactly.
Okay. So do I build out a profile on your app? I'm thinking maybe I should register before September.
Exactly. Yep. You build.
Otherwise, I'm not going to have a meeting.
Right. And you can search through the app, and if you're looking for, folks that have no code, low code solutions, boom.
Yeah.
CRM solutions, boom. All those things are easily searchable and findable, and we try to facilitate that. We also offer the ability, we can curate meetings for people. Like, if you're looking for a specific technology, you're looking for a solution, we do have a system called ITC Meet, where you can participate either as a solutions provider or as a buyer. So we also facilitate meetings, and even for the startups, another thing that we've done, we've had like a speed dating kind of startup meeting. We call it office hours, kind of like you think about going to college. You can just drop in, and we have usually about a dozen, 15 or so, the top VCs in the Insuretech space. They're available for just, hey, introductions. Just drop in and give them a quick elevator pitch and start a warm conversation from that perspective too. But so we have a variety of different meeting types, but most of the meetings are, yes, you schedule them, you set them up in the middle of the expo hall. But frankly, just to build on that, there's so many things, like I said, that are just happening. Like, you could be waiting in line, picking up lunch, and you're like, hey, I'm Bill. Hey, I'm, who are you? What do you do? And it's a lot of the feedback we've gotten, like, the best meetings that happen are the ones that are just kind of organic. They just happened. You just bump into someone at a reception, you're introduced to someone, because so many people are there, so many great stakeholders are there. It's like a smorgasbord, really. It's fantastic to be able to meet so many people,
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm excited. I think to maximize the impact on the conference's effect, staying at Mandalay Bay probably would be the best idea.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. Staying at Mandalay Bay, because everything's happening at Mandalay Bay. We start that first day, like we were saying, with that long form content, and then we have a reception right there at the Daylight Beach Club, which is fantastic. Lead singer from Journey serenaded us last year and did a couple of songs. We have real fun time right there by the pool, open bar. It's a great experience to kick off the day. And then folks will do dinners and what have you. There are a variety of dinners and things that happen. There'll be a bunch of receptions that happen. They start off in the exhibit hall each evening, and then they go throughout the casino. But everything happens right there at the Mandalay Bay. We also are going to have a great closing party. We'll announce the talent, but in the past we've had Salt and Peppa, Billy Idol rocked the house in 2019. Last year we had Ludacris from Fast and Furious fame. He put on a fantastic show. So
bet he did.
We'll have a great party to wrap things up on the 22nd, Thursday the 22nd. So, but it all happens right there at Mandalay Bay. So it's just one place to be.
So if you come to Insuretech Connect for no other reason, you should come for the music.
Come for the music. It's going to be a great,
that's awesome.
Great party. Yeah, but Mandalay Bay is a fantastic facility too. It's really impressive. Like that closing party happens at their beach club. It's literally like a beach that slopes into a pool. The stage is right there. It's a fantastic venue. Yeah.
What a good tax write-off, right? That is so perfect.
I will deliver tax advice.
Right. Yeah. No, we won't offer tax advice.
Professional, but yeah, it's a great time.
Talk to your CPA, because probably almost everything you could do there except gambling could be. Maybe, if your CPA is better than mine, maybe you could write off some gambling. I don't know. Bill Harris, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. The Insuretech Connect again will be held September 19th through the 22nd, Mandalay Bay.
20th to the 22nd. But arrive on the 19th.
Arrive on the 19th.
Arrive on the 19th. Yeah.
Don't leave till the 23rd.
Exactly.
Preferably book an afternoon flight, probably, right? Vegas.insuretechconnect.com. You can check it out. We are so happy to have you as part of the show here. Thank you so much for joining us.
No, thank you for the invite, Abe.